And good evening. My name is Angela Raincatcher or Roberts. I'm the convener for Connect DC, which is a Wiccan-based public ritual group that seeks to heal and transform the city of Washington, DC through magic, mystery, and celebration. Each year, Connect DC Ritual Circle crafts an intention that guides our work. This year, our annual intention is, our community is a vibrant container of healing, hope, transformation, and joy. Connect DC provides a sacred space where we can connect with our deepest selves and with each other. By celebrating the cycles of nature, we fill ourselves with love and pour that love into the world. Now, the full moon is an important marker of our month. And it seems that this is the time when the moon in all of her glory catches our attention. And so tonight I want to start with a prayer for the full moon. Aradia, Diana, and Hecate, hear my prayer. Here I stand in the heart of the city, bathed in the light of the full moon. I look up as my ancestors did. I stand with them in awe of her beauty. I look up as people all over the world do right now, and I stand with them in wonder at her beauty. And together, all of humanity sighs and says, look at the moon. In this simple act, we are connected, unified, together in light and in shadow. Let us raise up our arms to embrace and welcome this moment. So mote it be. The full moon calls us to a deep connection and a familial relationship with all of humanity, past, present, and future. This is a connection that we desperately need to be consciously activated and intentionally acted upon right now in this time of sweeping pandemic, police brutality against Black Americans, and quote unquote leadership that not only refuses to lead for the benefit of all, but that actively works to harm the most vulnerable and marginalized in our society. In times like these, we are called upon to acknowledge and strengthen our connections by lifting each other up and doing what we can to help those in the line of fire. But first, we need to be resourced to do this work. And so I invite you to find a comfortable position for your body and to bring your attention back to your breathing. Just allow yourself to breathe and notice your body breathing. I invite you to close your eyes if you are comfortable and safe doing so. Bring your attention to your feet and reach down into the dark, cool soil of the earth beneath you. The solid ground that is our foundation, that is our mother, that is the womb and the tomb of our ancestors. With each breath, draw up the power and the stability of the earth inside of you. Pull that energy up into your body until you are strong and stable, until your body hums with the song of the living world. And now bring your attention to the top of your head and reach up into the starry night sky above you. The swirling pattern of our galaxy that holds our aspirations and our dreams, that holds the cosmos and the chaos, that holds creation and destruction. With each breath, draw down the inspiration and the imagination of the starry heavens inside of you, inside of your body, until you are open and vibrating like starlight itself. This feeling right here in your body right now is your birthright. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. You can always make these connections without an intermediary and without anyone else's permission. It is from this position of being fully connected to our primal sources of strength and being fully resourced that we can start our work and our journey tonight. And just take a deep breath in and let it out. And allow yourself to travel along with me. So many of us right now feel like we are this person in the Eight of Swords card. We feel surrounded by the sharp edges of injustice, harsh words, brutality, poverty, sickness, lies, betrayal, and hate. We feel blinded by the disinformation and propaganda that white supremacy, colonialism, capitalism, and patriarchy spews forth every day. And we are blinded by the world we grew up in. We feel that our arms and our legs, the parts of ourselves that represent our agency in the world, are bound tightly. We may feel we are not free to be who we are and to do what we are called to do. And even if we can move about freely, we find ourselves lost in a maze where we cannot see where we are going, or if the path we are taking will go somewhere other than a dead end. One wrong turn and we are stymied and separated from those we love. We scratch our heads and eventually give up any effort to realizing either our own dreams or the dreams of the collective. In times like these, the world as we know it may refuse to make sense. It becomes some surrealist, never-ending, continually uphill struggle that gets us nowhere except back to where we started. And it is so easy to give up, to sit down, to shut up, to just do what those in power tells us to do, to hate those who are different, to disdain those we deem lesser, and to envy those that we deem better. Sometimes it can seem so easy to disconnect from our essential humanity and become cogs in the machine that churns out profits for those in charge. But what if? What if, instead of perceiving those swords as barriers, we perceive them as challenges along the path of initiation or spiritual evolution? Evolution, growth, transformation does not happen without challenge. These are the times we have been training for. When we do our daily practices of breathing, grounding, of meditating, these are not ends in and of themselves. These practices are how we train ourselves to find our center and our strength in times of struggle, when things are difficult. When the blindfold begins to fall and the bonds that confine us begin to loosen, the world we newly see and experience can shock and disorient us. And again, we lean on the practices to find our footing in order to listen to the voices of the oppressed, to learn how to move forward without inflicting more harm, and to do the work that is ours to do in the world. And instead of a maze, we find ourselves in a sacred labyrinth, walking the meandering path into the center of self and soul and spirit. With each step we take on our path towards the labyrinth, through the labyrinth, we carry healing to the most vulnerable. We carry strength to the oppressed. We carry nourishment for the starving. And we carry vision for those who have lost hope. Unlike the maze, there is no wrong turn in the labyrinth. Sure, you may not know how close you are to reaching the center, but the path itself is the healing. The twists and turns of the labyrinth's path takes you through all of life's experiences. We are all called to walk the labyrinth. And so I ask you, how will you walk your path in the labyrinth? What is your work to do? What work is in your hands? How will you respond to the call? Because make no mistake, it is times like these when the gods call us to action. Actually, let me be more clear. The gods are here now, and they are calling us to action now. Chongo and Athena are in the streets, protesting police brutality against Black communities. Will you join them? The Dagda and Osiris and Demeter are making and distributing food for the hungry. Will you join them? Thoth and Odin and Saraswati are exposing the truth and inspiring people through the written word. Will you join them? And Hestia and Ishel and Kuan Yin are sheltering those who need respite, protection, and healing. Will you join them? Each of us is called to act in service of life. Each of us has a role to play. See in your mind's eye a series of concentric circles. Some of us are closer to the center, to the front lines. Some of us are further back, doing supportive work, like taking care of children, feeding people, gathering supplies. Some of us are donating money to support those on the front lines. Imagining yourself in this field of concentric circles. Where are you standing right now? Is this where you are meant to be? Is this where you are comfortable? If you are near the outer edges, what would it be like to step one circle closer to the center? How can you push that edge of discomfort and extend and expand your capabilities? And if you are at the very center, at the front lines, what would it be like to take a step back? How can you make room for those who are moving forward? How do you know when it is your time to step forward, but then to also step back to recharge yourself? In this space, move around until you find the place where your work lies. You may find yourself moving forward or back or around, looking for your work. And when you find your work, pick it up and look at it. What is the work in your hands? What is the action you are called to take? What is something you can do right now or this week Speak that work. Speak that action aloud right now. Commit to doing your work, to taking that action. Because when we pick up and act upon our work, when we take off the blindfold, when we loosen our bonds, when we move past the edges that keep us frightened and immobilized, when we lift up and center the voices and the needs of the most vulnerable and marginalized in our communities, when we act as if Black lives matter every damn day, when we say no more to the lies, to the greed, to the brutality of white supremacy and patriarchy, that is when we manifest justice into our world with our work, the work in our hands. So mote it be, so mote it be, so mote it be. Let us take a moment just to ground and to come back fully to our bodies and to this time and to this plane of reality. So bring your attention to your breathing. Bring your attention back to your body. You might want to pull your ears. You may want to pinch your nose and say your name 3 times. Never underestimate the magic of real action in this world. We are the hands and the feet of the gods on this physical plane. They act through us. And when we pick up our work, we are doing their work too. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I invite you to leave a comment and to share this video when it's posted on our Facebook page. And if you want to share the action that you committed to take in the comments, feel free to do that. And please, if you do go out on the front lines, stay as safe as you can. Stay as calm as you can. Lean on your practices of breathing and grounding. Go with a buddy. There, I did my mom thing. And know that we love you and support you. Connect DC has a couple of upcoming events that I'd like to invite you to. On Friday, June 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we will have our Dark Moon Rite. And on Sunday, June 21st at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time, join us for our Litha and Summer Solstice ritual. Both of these events will be live streamed right here at our Facebook page for Connect DC. And I just want to give thanks and blessings to those of you who have commented tonight, and who have, posted their action. It's just really awesome. So go out, do good work. May the gods be with you. Blessed be.